Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is none other than Winnie the Pooh, the yellow bear with the red shirt, and more specifically from the book written by Benjamin Hoff 40 years ago called the Tao of Pooh. Just a reminder that the best way to get into this meditation with us, or any meditation, is to take a few moments. We've got a few minutes left before we start. Bring your attention to your breathing. Slow down your breathing. Be a little bit more intentional about the breath you take. Inhale through your nose. Breathe it all the way deep down into your belly. Fill up the balloon in your belly as you inhale, and slowly let the balloon in your belly deflate as you exhale. And in just a few minutes, you'll be ready to float away with us. Somebody, a very good morning. Anthony, good morning. Maggie, good morning. Awesome seeing you all here. I hope you're enjoying Winnie the Pooh this week. I loved your comment yesterday, somebody, about your picnic with Winnie the Pooh. I thought that was really cool. Right, so what's up today? Today is about being present. Today's message from Winnie the Pooh is about the power of now, being present for this day, for this moment. So I'll read you a couple of quotes quickly before we get started. A conversation between Pooh and Piglet goes like this. When you wake up in the morning, Pooh, said Piglet at last, what is the first thing you say to yourself? What's for breakfast, said Pooh. What do you say, Piglet? I say, I wonder what's going to happen exciting today, says Piglet. Pooh nodded thoughtfully. It's the same thing, he says. So all of today's thoughts look at today, look at this moment, and asks a question around being present. The first one says, the main problem with this great obsession for saving time is very simple. You can't save time, you can only spend time. But you can spend it wisely or spend it foolishly. Pooh says, things just happen in the right way at the right time, at least when you let them. When you work with circumstances, instead of saying, this isn't supposed to be happening this way. How often do we do that? This is not supposed to be happening this way. And then we try so hard to make it happen in a different way. Pooh says, the Christmas presents once opened are not so much fun as they were while we were in the process of examining and lifting and shaking and thinking about opening them. 365 days later, we try again and find that the same thing has happened. Each time the goal is reached, it becomes not so much fun. And we're off to reach the next one, then the next one, then the next. That doesn't mean that the goals we have don't count. They do. Mostly because they cause us to go through the process, and it is the process that makes us wise, happy, or whatever. Linda, good morning. If we do things in the wrong sort of way, it makes us miserable, angry, confused, and things like that. The goal has to be right for us, and it has to be beneficial in order to ensure a beneficial process. But aside from that, it's really the process that's important. Karabo, very good morning. One more thought that says the same thing. It says, the honey doesn't taste so good once it's been eaten. The goal doesn't mean so much once it is reached. The reward is not so rewarding once it has been given. If we add up all the rewards in our lives, we don't have very much. But if we add up the spaces between the rewards, we'll come up with quite a bit. And if we add up the rewards and also the spaces, then we'll have everything. Every minute of the time that we spent. So today's journey looks at these spaces we spend between rewards, looks at the time we spend chasing the goals. The time we spend chasing the goals are where we find ourselves all the time. And are we being present for that time? If you are ready, we will close our eyes and float away on today's journey together. Starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Our journey today is about being present. While you continue your full body breathing, take a step outside of yourself and look at this human right here, right now. Doing their best to be present. but having a very human brain. That does what a human brain does. It wanders backwards to the past, often captured in old stories from the past. And then it jumps into the future, worried about what might happen. As you look at this human that is you, slowly breathing, please take the moment to acknowledge that you are trying. See that you are in fact doing your best. And tell yourself that. You are doing your best. And we'll keep doing our best. And when your mind wanders away from today's meditation about being present, be gentle with that human mind, but collect it, take it by the hand, bring it back to your breath, back to this moment, back to being present. And simply do it as many times as it takes. It's not a big deal. As it wanders off, take its hand and bring it back. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down in as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles. Go forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. See if you can tilt your head towards the left while you tilt your hips towards the right. Curving your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone. Working that coordination. One more big breath in. And as As you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence as much as we are able to for this moment, we can turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a long, slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, this would be a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and invite softness into every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it's easy. followed by the longest, slowest exhale possible. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, remind yourself of being present, being here, being in this moment. And whenever your thoughts wander off, take them by the hand, bring them back. Focus on your next breath. Feel the balloon in your belly inflate. And ask your thoughts to stay around here a little bit longer. Take your next big breath. Subconsciously, we always form an idea of what we want this moment to be. Yesterday, I might have had an idea of what I want today to be. Do you often find yourself holding on, being attached to the idea of what you wanted this moment to be? With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, explore this thought. Holding on to my idea of what I wanted this moment to be. Take your next big breath. Being attached to the thought of what this moment should have been. Being attached to the thought of what this moment should have been. Can you come up with an example? Recently, if you can. Further back, if you don't have a recent example. Of where in a moment you were not happy with how the moment turned out. And something in you was desperately trying to hold on to what you thought this moment should have been? Can you find an example? Take your next big breath. It could have been the weather that was not being the way you thought it should have been. It could have been traffic that was not being the way you thought it should have been. It could have been your car that was not behaving the way you thought it should be. It could be the human beings you were dealing with who were not being the way you thought they should have been. Take a moment again to look at your example of being attached to the thought of what this moment should have been. Take your next big breath. How did it make you feel to hold on to your attachment? How did it make you feel to desperately want it to be different? How would it make you feel if you were able to allow the weather, the traffic, the human being to be exactly what it is or what they are? How would it feel to allow Take your next big breath. while you resist what the moment is? Where does it leave you? What action can you take when your action is based on an old idea of what this moment should have been? When you allow this moment to be exactly what it is, where does that leave you? What actions can you take when you allow this moment to be the reality that it clearly is? Ask yourself the question. And for the exercise, do it for now, do it for today. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, ask, what does this moment require of me? What does this moment require of me? Take your next big breath. What does this moment ask me to step up and do? What does this moment ask me to step up and do? Take your next big breath. And finally, what does this moment make available to me? Because every moment does. Even if we find ourselves in a moment we certainly did not want to be in, still, this moment makes something available to you. Every moment has a gift in it, but in our resistance to the moment, we will not see it. What does this moment make available to me? Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, longest, slowest exhale that you possibly can. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, invite softness into every fiber of your being. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. We all have goals. Of course, every Monday morning we look at them. We try and see what our goals are and what we have to do to reach them. A reminder from the Tao of Pooh this morning is that while our having goals is not a bad thing, we have to remind ourselves that we spend our lives in the moments between the goals. We spend every present moment chasing something that is in the distant future. It doesn't make the goals bad, but we have to pay attention to how we are spending our time from moment to moment. In every moment we are in the process. And I have to ask myself, am I in a good process? Or am I in a bad process? Is how I'm spending my time being present? Does it feed my soul? Am I busy adding to my skill set in this moment in a positive way? Am I busy growing and expanding in this process? Or is the process making me shrink? And more specifically, the reminder from the Tao of Pooh this morning is that to a big extent, the process we find ourselves in from moment to moment is created by the goal. A worthy goal put us in a good process. An unworthy goal likely has us trapped in a bad process. If I examine my goals with a view of understanding the process I find myself in, it shines a different light on the goals. At the end of the day, we are reminded it is a lot more about the process than the goals. The process is what creates who we are. Spend the time between goals wisely, says Winnie the Pooh. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for the recognition that when we count the goals that we reach, we're not left with much. But if we count the time in between, we are left with quite a lot. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the reminder that I have to pay attention to how I spend my time from moment to moment. Is this a worthy process? Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the fun way in which this particular wisdom is delivered through a yellow bear called Winnie the Pooh. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the reminder that this process can be fun. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Pope, good morning. It's awesome seeing you, or I'm guessing good evening. Thanks for the beautiful comment. I love it. Thank you so much. Good morning, Vivian. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Cornelie. It is beautiful seeing you here. I'd like to read this one for you again. The conversation between Pooh and Piglet. When you wake up in the morning, Pooh, says Piglet at last, what's the first thing you say to yourself? What is for breakfast, says Pooh. What do you say, Piglet? I say, I wonder what's going to happen exciting today, says Piglet. Pooh nodded thoughtfully. It's the same thing, he says. What does today make available to you? What does this moment make available to you? Lots of love to you all. Thanks Anthony, thanks Sunmarie, thanks Pope, it's good to see you. Thanks Maggie, thanks Pat, thanks Linda, and whoever else might be in the background. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day. What does this day make available to you? See you soon. Ciao, ciao.